Sure. Okay, so we're recording. I will post the agenda. Screen. Is that good for everybody?
A little larger would be helpful. I don't have my glasses nearby.
Yep, Chris, if you have an issues, then someone else is too, so. Perfect.
Right.
Well, awesome. Well, good evening, good afternoon. Call the meeting to order. Milpitas Unified School District and City of Milpitas Collaborative Subcommittee meeting, Friday, March 26th, 2021 at 4 p.m. We have, this is of course during COVID-19, this is via teleconference or virtual meeting. The meeting is also being live streamed on Facebook, available on YouTube, and also on the city's website, www.ci.milpitas.ca.gov/web streaming. Public comments may be provided during the live meeting by first registering for the Zoom meeting in advance, providing an email address and a name. Register in advance for the webinar at the link that is on the screen. All comments provided shall be limited to 3 minutes or less as determined by the staff liaison. All members of the public will be limited to 1 comment per agenda and 1 comment for non-agenda items. The online written comment form previously used is no longer available for public comment. And at this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And let us begin. Oh man, we haven't done this in a minute. Let us begin with the flag salute. You want to put the flag up somewhere? Okay, there's the flag. I think, is that the flag on Mayor Rich Tran?
That's just a blanket I have, but we can go proceed.
Okay, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, we're on item C on the agenda, public forum. Are there any comments from the public?
There are no public comments from the public at this time.
Thank you. This time I request a motion to approve the agenda for March 26th, 2021. Is there a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion, the second. Roll call. Board Vice President Gip Tuan.
Yes.
Mayor Tran. I think Mayor Tran may be frozen.
Yeah, I don't see him there. Oh, there he is.
Okay, I'm having some internet issues over here.
Okay, Mayor Tran, we're doing the approval of the agenda.
Okay, great.
So we need your aye or your nay.
Aye. Yeah, aye. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And Vice Mayor Montano.
Aye.
Okay, we have a motion, second, and approval of the public agenda, of the agenda for today's meeting. We're on item E, approval of the minutes from January 29th, 2021. Is there a motion?
So move.
As a reminder, if there were any board members that weren't here at that meeting, they will have to abstain on this. We have a motion in there, a second.
Second.
We have a motion in the second. Roll call vote. Mayor Tran,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Montano,
Aye.
Vice President of the Board of MUSD, Kelly Upshawn.
Aye.
Excellent. We have an approval of the minutes for January 26th. On to item F, discussion items. Item number 1, MUSD Educate Everywhere version 3.0 launch on April 1st. And that will be provided by Assistant Superintendent Wendy Zhang.
Well, thank you, President Norwood, and good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to share my screen. Okay, can you guys all see my screen well? This is our MUSD Educate Everywhere version 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me first go over this. As you know, now we're very excited to announce that on April 1st, MUSD is going to offer additional in-person learning opportunities. What does this version 3.0 means? In addition to the current targeted small group in-person learning, we're going to offer all students from grade TK to 6, as well as grade 9s from our high school, to have an opportunity to come on campus and doing in-person learning. Here is the content of our document. By the way, you can find this document on the district website. And you will see here the large number listed. This is the page number. And definitely we'll start with our superintendent's message here. And then here are some of the cleaning and disinfection procedures protocol. As you know, safety is always our priority. We would like to make Milpitas Unified a safety-first district. What does that mean to us then? That means we'll continue to do our daily health screening for all the staff, as well as we're expecting that from our students who are going to be on campus learning. And also, of course, the facial covering, we will continue to reinforce that. And the 6 feet social distancing, we're not going to reduce it to 3 feet. That you might be aware that recently the CDC announced that change, but we would like to be safe. So 6 feet at least from now all the way till June 30th for this school year. In the meantime, we also rented some portable hand wash stations, just in case some areas on the campus, they have a difficulty to access to bathroom. And so we have this rented. And also, I would like to take a few minutes just to share with you that besides this, besides those general protocol, here's just some PPEs that we distribute to our school side. The PPE is the personal protection equipment, and we know to open our school safe, we would like to make sure we have a safe environment for both our staff and the students. And just give you an idea, here are on the top, under the yellow highlight, those are the items we have been distributed to the school side right now. And then from that, each side, like for example, right now I'm showing Kurtner here, we listed every single classroom here, what they have so far. And we have that for each school side. Like for this is a Burnett. And besides that, we also have a checklist. So this is the checklist we also created. And we would like all the administrators to go through this with our maintenance operations staff to make sure all these safety protocols and the procedures are in place before we can open the campus or open the classroom. And at the bottom, here's the signature that the principal need to certify. So with that being said, you can see we play a very, safety is our high priority for the safe open school in person, and we spend a lot of time, and we even have a safety committee, and they're meeting on a daily basis, and we provide updated to our administrators with the latest changes at the county or at the state level. So we started all the links and the procedures here for the safety related items. And here's again the safety checklist I just shared with you. And also we're doing a staff testing on a weekly basis. And we will continue to do that. As a matter of fact, now you'll probably be aware that the state also allowed the athletics games started on campus in person. And we have to provide all the athletes who wanted to attend the game 48 hours prior to the game a test result. So we have to test them before they can actually go on the game 48 hours ahead of time. And actually, as a matter of fact, next week, there will be some athletic programs will be started at high school, and we're working on that now. And in case if we had a COVID-19 exposure, what we're going to do, here are some process that we listed here for everyone that can reference here. And of course, the school offices, that's the heavy traffic area, and how we can keep social distancing protocol reinforced. And here are some guidance and procedures that staff need to follow, and as well as we encourage the parents to follow the protocol too while they're on campus. Of course, here's our safety first campaign, because Milpitas is always a safety first school district. Now, starting from this page, we're going to go over the in-person learning program. As you recall, last year started in mid-March, March 16th, and the Governor Newsom announced the shelter-in-place order, and Milpitas was one of the few districts was able to successfully transform from in-person learning to distance learning. We did such a great job. Just within a few days, like a couple of weeks, we were able just to launch our Educate Everywhere version 1.0. And we received lots of compliments from our parents and from our community members. And even I heard story from other school districts, the parents want to come to Milpitas just to attend our program. So that was how Educate Everywhere version started back then. And not too long ago now, almost a year later, see, now we're at the version 3.0 now. Here are some, again, the in-person learning for special education students, and what are some safety measures we have in place. And then, starting this page 14, this is the elementary school's schedule. And what we have listed here, so this is what we have been done right now, like what is the general schedule right now we have. And then what are the schedules will be on April 1st and beyond to finish out this school year. And of course, each school depends on how many students are they surveyed are willing to come on campus. They might adjust the schedule a little bit. And I encourage you, if you're interested, go to each elementary school site, their own website, they posted their schedules in a more detailed way there. So here's general information for elementary. And then we have our middle schools here. We started with the Rancho Middle School. For both middle schools, they're going to continue to provide the targeted group support, the small group in the tiered system. And here they identify the process for Rancho and Russell, how they identify the student, and what is their schedule will look like. And it's listed pretty here in detail, like IPL means in-person learning cohort on Wednesday is from 9 to 10:30 a.m. at Rancho, so on and so forth. And then here's our high school schedule. Well, of course, high school, because we have a 6 periods, and it's more complicated. And internally, we had a few discussions why we offer the in-person learning to 9th grade student instead of the 12th grade student. So basically, let me show you some of the data that we're using. We make decisions based on data. We don't just come up with the idea. So we look at the record from 2017 all the way to 2020 and just compare the 9th grade student to the 12th grade students. Focus on the at risk. For example, like the number of suspensions happened. And also, what is their GPA? And then the average student, are they high or low on their credit earnings by the end of the 10th grade? So based on these data points, we made a decision that we would like to invite the 9th grade student come on campus, so then they can have a better opportunity to enhance their learning. So that is high school. And then, of course, now Cal Hills. Our Cal Hills, they have learning labs. We call them in-person learning lab schedule. So their schedules also are listed here. And then at the bottom is our adult education program. Besides our schedules, and we also provide employee trainings. We would like to make sure our staff are familiar with the safety protocol and the safety process. And of course, in the meantime, for our students, and the mental health resource and the support system is also there, not only to our students, but also to our staff as well. And these athletics activities are reflect the latest changes. And we were able now open to have our athletic program going now in person. But to make it safe, there are procedures we have to follow. For example, the testing. So we are actively working on that plan, and we will start it next week. Before the game, 48 hours, we will try to have our athletes and to be tested before they can get into the game. So with that, this is our Educate Everywhere 3.0 version. And feel free, if you would like to have more information, I invite you to go to each individual school site's website to get more detailed information. So I'm going to pause here, see if there are any questions.
So I have a question. Do I raise my hand? Okay, there.
Wendy, I'll be able to support you on answering some of the questions as well.
Oh, of course, definitely. Please help me. Yeah.
Vice Mayor Montana, go right ahead.
Thank you. Wonderful presentation, Wendy. I'm really glad you are informing us of schools opening back up. Wonderful job, and I'm really glad that safety is first and foremost. I'm really proud of our school district and all the staff and the administration for opening schools up. So I had one question. Are all the schools open or just some of them?
Well, in general, for elementary TK to sixth grade, so
Right.
all elementary school will be open. And then on top of that, plus the targeted group support. So we also have a smaller group support on targeted students or tiered students. And
Yeah.
then the ninth grade for high school student right now. And plus the targeted support for the other 10th to 12th grade, and as well as the middle school students.
Okay, great. And so is it voluntary or is it mandated? How is that working out for kids to go back to school? Do they?
Well, we developed a process, and first of all, we like to survey our parents. And also we will get the parents in, because the parents, we have a survey to them to ask their opinion. Do they want to send their kids to school in person, or they would prefer to do distance learning? So that has been done, and based on the survey we received, and we plan from that level. And
Okay.
on the other hand, and the ABSB 86, Assembly Bill 86, was signed in law by Governor Newsom on March 8th. So in that AB 86, it provides about 3.1 million. It's called in-person learning grant to school district for us to open on April 1st. If we won't be able to follow all the protocols or the requirement from that grant, the district will lose about 31,000 per day.
Yeah, that's the incentive, which is good. So you mentioned that it's voluntary. So what happens to the students that don't participate in person? They still do Zoom at home, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
Okay. And the teachers are good with doing both, or how does that work?
Well, that's a very good question. It depends on what level and how many students will be in class. The maximum number of people we can have per classroom is 15, including adult.
Okay.
And so, and I see. Oh, see. Okay, here's the survey. Chris, is that from you or?
That's from Scott.
That's me. I was just sharing because she, Vice Mayor asked about the steps for it and if there was options, and this kind of answers her.
Yeah, that's
questions.
great. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, there were a couple of pieces to it. And just to support some of the language and the information that Wendy had shared. Because on the targeted support, there are students at each grade level that have been targeted. So there's a couple of pieces to the response. There are the grades that are being open, meaning invitation for all students, TK through 6. That means all students. And at the middle school, the targeted support means that there are 7th grade students and there are 8th grade students that are being identified saying, hey, you have not had the best experience with distance learning. This is a critical time in your education. We would like you to come on campus, or it is highly encouraged based on the information that we have and the performance that we've been keeping up with you. But in that process, we've also surveyed the parents and asked, okay, even though we've identified your student for targeted support, are you willing to bring your student on campus? That is an option. And the same thing happens at the high school. So 9th grade has an invitation, but all other grades that have targeted support, those students are being invited to be on campus as well. So there will be a mix of all grade levels across the district on campuses, some by all by invitation, some by targeted support, and some for just in general opportunities to come back for the socialization, for the community building, and for many of them seeing their teachers for the first time, because a lot of students didn't see theirs. A lot of students, no students, as a matter of fact, have seen their teachers in person. Let me back up. On some of our campus already, Wendy skipped over, Wendy didn't mention, but in Educate Everywhere version 2.0, we had learning pods and we had teachers across the district opening up their classrooms for small group instruction as well, with social distancing and things of that nature. Both of our CDC has been open since March for in-person for families and daycare, things of that nature. So there's been quite a bit of on-campus work across the district, but just in very, very small groups based on the shelter-in-place requirements and the laws by the county public health, not the laws, but the policies implemented by the county public health department.
Great, thank you. I'm really glad that you're focusing on the ones that kind of fell behind or because they're at risk. So are you guys planning on providing summer school classes?
Well, we're still planning for that because under AB 86, there is another part of funding is called Expanded Learning Opportunity Grant. And that expanded learning grant requires the school district basically to offer additional, we don't call it summer schools, like the extensions of our regular school years or enrichment program, and even increasing the instructional days and the instructional minutes. Yeah, but the district will have to come up with a plan by June 1st and approved by our board. So we're actively working on developing that plan now. And
Okay.
so definitely, we're not going to offer the traditional summer school as we usually do. We'll offer more opportunities, more expanded version of summer learning opportunities to our students.
Yeah, because usually how it was before, the kids that really needed that extra help, they were required to attend summer school. And so you're saying that that's no longer the case. It's going to be more an enrichment type?
No, we're still required that. So what
Okay.
I'm saying is just there will be a lot more than we used to offer, put that way.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
thank you.
And to add to that, because there's been a couple of mentions of funding, you can imagine that the school district and the costs that we are now incurring for the PPE, for the testing, for a number of different things that are going on. So the dollars that the governor has made available has been beneficial for school districts who run on a very lean budget, because prior to this situation, we were looking at cost management adjustments as well. So the dollars that have been provided by the state not only allowed us to transition from in-person to distance learning, because we provided several thousand laptops. We re-equipped our teachers to be able to work at home in some instances. There was additional equipment that was bought that allowed them to do work from home, not to mention additional support for the students and the staff with all the new cleaning supplies and materials that we have to meet. So a lot of those dollars are being spent on the safety of the community that we're looking at now. So that it's important for us folks to understand that those dollars aren't just coming to us and we have nothing. We've invested in this community, Milpitas Unified School District has, for safety first. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have such low number, the morbidity rate and also the case rates per 100,000.
So any other questions on our Educate Everywhere's 3.0 version?
Just a comment, a great job that you were proactive. Good job.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Okay, the next item on the agenda. Scott, do we have any comments from the public?
No, we have no hands raised at this time from the public.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is our targeting of low performing schools and how can the city help? I think that could have been better worded in terms of targeting low performing schools. I think what the context was is that we've identified, as you have communities in Milpitas where there are inequities, there are that as far as some health disparities, as well as academic performance or the ability to fully navigate successfully these uncertain times. So this particular topic is more about the different regions of the city where we have our schools, where our parents have asked for additional support beyond our ability to educate their children. So this is a discussion item as well in terms of getting an understanding from the city in terms of what are the areas that you are aware of where you see most need when it comes to COVID-19, and what are the services that you are currently providing, and how can we help to potentially support providing those services through our direct communication through the school district.
Right, and I think I was the one, unless someone else did, but I had brought this up because I know that a lot of students, especially at your low performing schools, it just, when COVID hit, it just got their academic performance just went down a notch. And I was thinking, how can we, the city, help bring them up? And maybe, this was a time to brainstorm. And I know the mayor and I, we really care about these students that are, somehow COVID has affected them, and we want to see what kind of program or how can we help? And that's why I brought this up.
Thank you.
So I guess it's brainstorming.
No, that's excellent. Assistant Superintendent Zhang, as we look at the data that we have and where you see the expenditures for we're providing services, would you like to add to this conversation?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Thank you, President Norwood, for asking. And from our district's perspective, and first of all, we really appreciate Mayor and the Vice Mayor to bring up this topic, because you're absolutely right. When the COVID-19 hit us, those low performing schools, and they're the one who suffer the most. And especially, they don't have, some of them, they don't even have internet connections. So how can they do distance learning? And even though the district, we provide them the Chromebooks, but if they don't have internet connections, that's still not going to work. And our staff did many home visits, and noticed that their living environment was horrible. And so, as Chris Nora shared earlier, the district had spent at least over almost $3 million on just to purchase technology equipment when we started launching the distance learning. And we have actually placed a lot more order now, but we're waiting for the shipment to come. So providing equipment is one thing, but on the other hand, I think for city, if you can maybe expand or do something, the infrastructure to help those low income area maybe have a better internet access, or even offer some free internet to help those families, that will be helpful or ideal for them. So that's one thing.
Yeah, so a lot of these students need tutoring. They need that extra, and now that we're on the orange tier where it's open, you can have face-to-face. I was thinking maybe one of our departments, Parks and Recs, we have the after school, after the bell, and I think they provide homework services there. Or if not, we can create something like a homework club. I think we used to, Renee, didn't we used to have a homework club?
Yeah, Vice Mayor, we have had homework club before. After the Bell program does offer a lot of different activities during our time with the students after school. One of them is homework help. We do have a distance learning pod at Pomeroy where we're with the students for the school day as well. So we're there helping to guide them. Like you mentioned, we are in the orange tier, which is very exciting. And so we are also kicking off in-person programs after the bell in the park, sort of an open air environment to help stimulate the kids with some vitamin D, but also social interaction. So we can also look at tutoring services and contracts that we offer after school to the community. We also have the Milpitas Assistance Program. So we have had opportunities to award services and equipment to families who are low income, all ages. We can also offer significant subsidies on any of our programs as well. The other thing I was going to bring up was we do have a social services coordinator. In years past, those services had been targeted for seniors. They're now open to everybody. And our coordinator is very successful, and she's been helping families of all ages and also socioeconomic backgrounds. And so she can assist with free or discounted Wi-Fi services, because many of the carriers do still provide that for a certain number of months. And then just resources. She's very connected. We work a lot with First Five over by Randall. So I think we can work together to get the services put in place. But then the help from the school district and getting the word out to the families is very helpful. When we don't have backpacks to put information in, which is very successful. I know they all have virtual backpacks, but that was just an amazing way to get the word out to 6,000, 7,000 families just in one fell swoop. But the emails from the school district and through Parent Square is also super helpful in getting the word out about programs, services, and then just events that sort of keep normalcy for these families to do something fun.
Right. Yeah, so I was thinking the underperforming schools like Randall, and I think you have maybe Weller, I'm not sure, wherever their API scores are really low. And that way the city can hone in on those schools and try to uplift them, try to give them whatever we can in, some type of services. Not sure if we can, I don't know what the city can do, but maybe you connecting with someone at the school and sharing and brainstorming and coming up with a plan, and then you can bring that back to the mayor and I.
Yeah, absolutely. We do work with child development staff, Jerry Lopez and a few others, to target families that we know need help and back and forth, and then setting up the pods and communicating out with families who are in most need. So we'll continue that, and we can bring a report back for sure to the next meeting. Absolutely.
Great. Mayor, do you have anything to say or add?
Yeah, I think I can provide just some thoughts. I appreciate the effort, Vice Mayor, because it is a challenge for many in our community, the students and families, to obtain internet access, tutoring. Those are the two items that do have a cost. I just want to encourage all my colleagues to try to provide a better plan. It's great to have these ideas to help others, but behind any truly good idea, we have to have a plan. So I thank our city staff for brainstorming, but that's a very wide request to ask anybody to brainstorm. So I will work with you, Vice Mayor, and our colleagues at the school board to come up with a plan so that we can be better to work with our staff here in terms of direction going forward. So I will commit to working with you, Carmen, in the days ahead.
Great. Yeah, the students, I think our whole goal is to improve their academic success in school.
Yeah, so we'll figure out a plan. We'll
Right.
work on that.
But do you think maybe, Renee, maybe I can connect you with our principals at like Rose, Randall, and Weller, and Burnett. So I know they all have a wish list, and they can give you some ideas of what they're think or what, because they know their families very well. They know their needs. So maybe I'll connect you with them, and then you guys can work together, can get more like a realistic plan and more detailed way to support the families.
Yeah, that would be great. We do work quite a bit with Weller and Burnett. We have programs there already.
Okay.
And I do know staff at Randall. We've worked with Rose on some testing opportunities. So, but good to kind of reconnect on this topic. So
okay,
that'd be great.
Okay, yeah, I'll do electronic. I'll do email to connect you with at least these 4 schools, and then we can see if later on if we can expand.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It may have been prudent for us because although we're talking about this as if it's a new idea or if it's something, I'm sure Renee could share that there is quite a bit of activity that's already going on in terms of the relationship that we have. And this topic being brought up in this context reminds me of a little bit of the conversations that we've been working on in connection to dealing with the coronavirus and COVID, about how we have a good communication strategy between the city and the district in terms of being able to provide services. We are aware of our targeted schools. You mentioned Weller, Burnett, Rose, and Randall. There are programs that are going on there, and the city has been very gracious. Board Vice President Yip Chuan has been doing some things. And Kelly, if you could share a little bit about the care packages that you guys did, just that may inspire some other possible ideas that would be helpful.
Yeah, so we had one of the Milpitas High School teacher, Ms. Tricia Brownstein. She went to our Rotary Club asking for support, and we, found out what they were doing. So they needed about 300 to 400 reusable masks, and I got to talk to Tricia and found out what she needed to, what her and her students were doing. So then I started reaching out to some of my network, our community members here, our businesses here, and they were gracious in donating some items like hand sanitizers and school supplies, lots of hundreds of toothbrushes, toothpaste, and we got monetary donations. So Tricia went and bought some socks and just items for the bags, and even former Vice Mayor Bob Nunez donated some tote bags, and months of collaboration, and we were able to distribute doing a drive-through at the high school, and we were able to service over 200 families who are in need, and we have gift cards for them as well. So they were very, very gracious for that. And, we have a very caring, staff and students and community. So I was just honored to be part of that project.
So yeah, it was when it was brought to the board, it really let us know about more of the need that's out there about these care packages that was needed, that a number of our families needed. And even for some of the young ladies, the feminine products and those types of things were included as well. So we have to think about in the area of city services and providing support for hygiene and those types of things. What does the city do, or how does the city deal? I guess, is that something that the city deals with in some way in terms of being able to support those types of supplies and those types of things?
Do you often get donations or seek donations through our social services division, I'll call it. So we do have care packages. We do receive donations and work with people who need those products. We also, although it was last summer, we are talking about coming up, additional backpack drives, food drives, and just those basic products that people need and don't have access to, that some of us can take for granted sometimes. So we have the ability to accept and distribute. We do a lot of that with the senior community, and then more recently over the past several months with young families as well.
We have a public comment, so I want to make sure that we get to that. But there's one other thing that I wanted to mention is that one of our elementary schools, Rose, they did for Valentine's Day, I'm not sure if you heard about it, but they helped to distribute over 700 Valentine's packages across the country so there is something in exchange that our kids, and it was very inspirational for them to be able to provide, because remember, during COVID, a lot of our seniors can't see their families. They don't have access. So we were able to brighten the day. They were able to brighten the day of a number of families. So there's also something that the children can do in terms of just leadership and community participation that could be added to the discussion as well.
They call them Palentines.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Communication specialist, Mr. Forstner, the questions, the comments from the public.
Sure. We do have a hand raised. Mo, I'm going to say, we're going to enable your audio and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Just take yourself off mute and you'll be good to go.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Sorry, I couldn't put in my whole last name. It's Morales. I'm driving.
Oh, it's Norma.
Sorry,
Yes.
I was doing so fast. I'm just
Oh, no, you
really
didn't.
excited.
I'm like,
No,
Norma Morales. Yes, our community liaison.
I was hoping Scott didn't say mobile. Anyway, okay, my 3 minutes. Wait. So no, I'm actually so excited to be part of. Listen, this is the first time. Thank you very much to our board members and our CD to be so thoughtful about what are the needs of our students. Recently, besides helping out with the care packages and everything, it caught my attention that I've been supporting and helping and running the mentor program that we have at the high school. So we're getting a lot of feedback from at most at-risk students, which are the ones that they're being the most disengaged. Some of the things that they've been asking for, obviously, one is the connection. They miss the in-person connection, and now that we're at the orange level, I'm not sure if we're still doing for the city, which they used to do an amazing job for the juvenile center, I think it's called juvenile center, Ms. Renee. Something to do for them and reach out to them. The hardest part to reach out our students is because these are the kids that we are not able to reach out by email or by phone because of the various needs. They might not have a consistent internet, or the parents might not be looking at their phones or the emails, because some of them, they might not know how to read, or even the language, it is a barrier. So I'm also wondering if another way to connect to them is actually going into their neighborhoods. Through this pandemic, I've been able to go some of their neighborhoods, to the most disengaged families in the home visit, and it does make a huge impact. Even giving out the backpacks with all the information, Renee, that sounds awesome. That will be really, really great. So another thing that I know that our students need is extracurricular activities. That's how they actually are engaging, and a lot of them that we're asking for things that we've never thought about that might connect them, even just like a basic video game that they don't know or we didn't know how to access that will be great to offer them. Tutoring is always a need, but mainly for our high school students, that will be amazing if there's a little bit something more, not sure if it's personalized, but specific to our older kiddos. I think that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Zion, I'm like, was I on mute this whole time?
that brought up some really good ideas. Yeah, you were talking about the teenage center. You said juvenile center, but it's the teen center.
Yes.
But I used to work for the school district as a liaison as well, community liaison, many years ago. And the program, we used to do home visits and we used to do tutoring.
Yes.
And that was the greatest program, because the kids that were really low level, and then they just they really, that one-on-one tutoring really helps out a lot. Maybe we could
Yeah.
do something like that, home visits tutoring. I don't know. I'm just kind of brainstorming. But yeah, I know that our city does homework clubs, and maybe that will be the direction. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Great. Thank you, Norma.
Thank you, guys.
Scott, we have another public comment.
Nope, no other hands raised at this time.
Okay. So I believe the takeaway here is that we're going to have a report that come back in terms of what's actually happening. Then there's going to be some connection from our staff with the city staff around the social services. There is some energy around making sure that we're able to build more care packages and make those available. The backpacks that have the specific products. And then, of course, the strategies around how we can support the students in their academic performance at the high school level in some way. And I don't know if I secretly heard you guys like dreaming for the teen center to come back, but I'm definitely going to throw that shameless plug because I thought that was one of the best things that the city ever had.
It's
for
virtual. We have a strong virtual program, but we are excited to get back and do programs in person with them. They really were into the life skills classes, the cooking classes. We did special virtual and very well attended community service hour ideas. We also taught them how to get their own bank accounts and got them access to some of our local credit unions to start those, understanding how to become an adult. We also did a number of resume classes, as well as filling out your forms to apply to college and junior college. So we've been pretty active virtually because we've had to be creative. And so we're looking forward to going back into the center and then potentially having maybe teen programs at other school sites as well.
That's awesome.
Great.
And moving on to the next item on the agenda. Bond project updates. Assistant Superintendent Wendy Zhang.
Okay. Well, this afternoon I will provide the committee just an overview, high level of update for our bond projects. Overall, our bond program doing very well, and all the projects are on track with our budget and also on schedule. Even we had a little hiccup with the state construction office to approve Metals Phase 2 design. They delayed that approval for almost over 6 months, but we were able to work with the block and to be able to bring in some interim portable. We add in 8 portables, and also thank you, Renee, for allowing us to use a little bit the basketball court to lay out during our construction for the portable. So we really appreciate for that help. So for Metals Phase 2, the anticipated completion time is around April next year. And our plan was we have the interim portable, so we will be able to accommodate the current residents in the area. And if one classroom building is ready, and then we can move those students into the new buildings. Because right now we're still working on 3 classroom buildings and plus 1 multi-purpose room. And after this update, I'll show you some pictures. I have some nice pictures at Randall and also for Metals. And Randall modernization also doing very well. And the project is expected to be completed in June. So actually, very soon we're going to plan a ribbon cutting ceremony. If we can actually go back to do it in person, that'll be great. And the multi-purpose room will be done, and we're going to have we'll have a new admin building and with a portable for kindergartners, and plus the new drive-through and the parking lot. rearrangement. Recently, we did increase the contract because we want to add some paving work. Our thinking is once we are ready to open in person and the school for the next school year in August, the community will see a brand new Randall. We will take care of all the safety measure like a fencing and the paving, and then they will have their new multi-purpose room, and so Randall will be like a new campus. They're completely done. For high school gym and theater, the board have already approved the contract for the design with LPA, and we're in the process to submit the design to the State Public Construction Office, OPSC, for approval. And in the meantime, we're engaged leaseback contractor, the construction company, to evaluate the plan and to do some pre-construction evaluation, and then to work on the budget with us. And the anticipated completion of that project will be around winter time in 2023. So that's about in 2 years. And in the meantime, we're actively working at the AIR site, the AIR Innovation Center, that is the district office, and with the second high school campus. And we're going to do folio buildings. So that is that building is durable, and also financially it makes more sense with our budget. And right now we're engaged all different stakeholders, including our high school principals, adult ed, Cal Hills, and district office staff, to plan for the programming, what programs we would like to place at this AIR center, and so on and so forth. And those basically are the major projects we're working on. And besides that, we have some smaller projects like a Rancho and a Russell track and field. We're going to start a Rancho first. We're going out to bid probably in next month, and then to accommodate for the softball league at Russell, we're not going to start construction right away for Russell, so we probably will do it in summer. And we're also working at the Spangler, and we're replacing their very, very old portables. There are a total of 6 of them. And we walk through the campus with the principal Louise. We realize there are some safety. We would like to add some safety barrier, maybe redesign their fencing, and to create a new grand entry for the site. And hopefully what our plan is to get all this done before August. So when the school starts the new fiscal year, people will get some new look of Randall. And in the meantime, our summer traditional project will be roofing, painting, and we'll continue to do that. So with that, let me share my screen again. I can show you some of the pictures, and especially the pictures I have collected from our facility team for Meadows and Randall here. Can you guys see this picture well, or
Yes.
I needed to make it a little bit bigger?
Depends on what
There's
we're
the
looking
rebar. The rebar.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Well, this is, I guess they're digging the foundation for the building. And this is another angle of that. And here they're actually, let me see.
Wendy, if you present,
Okay.
and the images
It'll
will
be
get
better.
bigger on the screen. Yeah. And then I also have the Randall drone video if you wanted to show it. But that's up
Oh,
to you.
that would be great.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because this is just like a pictures, and I'm trying to see. if
Yeah,
I
that's
was
much better.
able. Yeah.
It's coming
Okay.
along really nice.
Then this is a Zenker. This is the Zenker playground. We redid their playground. So, and then this is a Randall. I just have to. This is their admin building, and this is the fencing area. And we did the fencing work. And this is going to be their. I think this is probably their multi-purpose room. And this is the outside of the multi-purpose room. Well, this is inside. So maybe Scott, if you don't mind, maybe you can show the drone picture video then. That'll be nicer. I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, stop sharing and I can do that, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Let's get it full screen.
Wow, look at that kindergarten play area.
Yeah, nice. I remember it was really, because I would sub there, it was really pretty small. Now it's big. Ah, nice. Wow, guess did a lot of work. There's the solar panels. Good.
Oh, the new entranceway.
Yeah, wow.
Because Randall's going to have a new entranceway onto the campus. It's not going to be like right there on the corner like it was.
Oh, nice.
Because that corner parking lot is now gone. You see the kinder, it's a kinder area now.
Yeah.
The revitalization of the Park Victoria Calaveras area with the MUSD Innovation Campus and a modernized Randall.
Nice.
Destroyed all my childhood memories when I was there for the 4th and 5th grade.
Wow.
They're all gone now. It's
Yeah.
it's a high-tech, advanced, top quality new education structures, but
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can do in-person ceremony when this all done. So yeah, it'll be really nice.
It's going to be our premier multilingual school in the district, elementary school in the district. We have 2 languages there now, and we're in the discussions on the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah. Yes.
good.
Well, that concludes my bond project update then.
That was so great. Thank you for sharing. That was really nice. So I guess what I really want to know is when you guys are doing your projects, so do you communicate with the staff? Because when when the campus, the Evergreen campus was being built, our city had just put in a brand new street. And then when the campus was being put in, all the streets were kind of torn out. So the reason why I asked is do you guys coordinate with your staff people so that way they'll know, okay, well, this is what we're going to be doing here. So that way our staff will know not to put in new streets. See what I'm saying? There has, some kind of communication, because that wasn't happening before. Well, that in that instance. So I'm just wondering if that's happening now.
Oh, definitely, of course. I mean, for our internal staff, like our staff from MOT department and our construction department, and also working with our school principals and the staff. Once we, every time when we have this a big project going on, when even parents, we involve parents for their input. Like for Randall, we had at least 5 or 6 meetings with our parents, with teachers, even student representatives. I mean, and staff, and so we do lots of stakeholders input meeting, and before we finalize the design. And then also because some of the design also needed to get a city permit, so I'm sure the city will also have a record of what's going on at Randall, and particularly I think for Randall city, actually we have to work with city to change, to add another cross walk or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, yeah, so definitely, yeah, we communication is the key for success of a bond project and a bond program.
Exactly. So that means you would connect with Tony Onda from Public Works and let them know that, yeah, we're going to be doing this project here. So that way we won't be putting any new streets, paving the streets. So that way we can make
It's
sure
not,
that we
it
don't.
won't be wasted, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, that's great to know that you're doing that, or that you will be doing that.
Especially, I have to say, Renee has been very, very helpful for us to work with us, and from the city's angle. Sometimes when we have issue, we have problem, we have questions, guess what? We ask Renee, and Renee is always there to help us. So we really appreciate her.
Thank you, Renee.
You're very welcome. And I also know that Cheryl and sometimes Wendy in the city manager's office, they also meet regularly now. So I think it many levels, the city staff and the school district staff are connected and feel informed. So
That's great.
working. Yeah.
Those are great points. Thanks, Renee.
Mhm.
I'll comment really quickly, just nothing but great things to say about the work at the school district. I'm very impressed by the work that you all do at the school district and school board. As a taxpayer here, which reminds me, our property taxes due next month. But I'm very much. I very much feel that our residents and taxpayers are getting the most value out of this school bond, and just really goes to show that the leadership over at the school district is just so strong. And as Wendy had mentioned, everything is so far, knock on wood, on time, and hopefully under budget. So just great work, and I thank you so much, you all.
Thank you, Mayor Tran. And with that said, the next item on the agenda is the future meetings. We have a date for that? Or are we gonna look at future agenda items and then adjournment?
Just for your information, you guys had agreed to meet the 4th Friday of each month. So that would put you at April 23rd at 4 p.m.
Thank you.
April 22nd or 23rd?
23rd, Vice Mayor.
Okay.
And then the city will be hosting that one. Thank you, school district, for hosting this one.
We might be in person on that date or no?
That's that.
Never know.
I hope so. I hope so.
We did our last board meeting, socially distanced in person.
Yeah, I mean, if it's under the county guidelines, I'm more than happy to support that. President Norwood would love to do a social distance meeting.
And the reason why I mention it is because, as we look at being a safety first district, but then also being mindful of process and acknowledging that right now, I believe the case rate is 3.79 per 100,000. When it comes to cases, and we are now in the orange tier, that and more of us are finding that we are going down the vaccination path. It really opens up, it really sets a precedent in terms of how we're able to do things and continue to move forward and assist the city in its direction as well. So I would like that to be taken into consideration for our next meeting. And if not, we know that we're going to do it soon, but we'll just keep moving in that direction.
I think one caveat is just the vaccination piece. I just want to, I think, obviously by next month, the vaccinations are supposed to be open to everybody over the age of 16. Just not sure if it's a 1-shot or 2-shotter for some folks. And I want to,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, but it's happening. I think you're right. It is happening. It is happening very soon. And, but once everybody's vaccinated or has the opportunity to get vaccinated, I'd be comfortable. I haven't gotten vaccinated, not that anybody cares, but I just fear for other folks who are more at risk.
No, and we proceed accordingly. We also do hybrid because we know the world of Zoom's not going away.
That's right.
So it could be a combination of some folks in person, some available by Zoom, because again, this world isn't going away anytime soon.
So April 23rd?
Yes. So with that said, we've got the April 23rd. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Great meeting. I move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Quickly, Scott, are there any public comments?
We have no public comments at this time.
Thank you. We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call. We'll kind of mix the order up a little bit. Vice Mayor Montano.
I'm here.
Vice President Chuan.
Aye.
Mayor Rich Tran. And Board President Chris Norwood, yes. The ayes and yeses and here's have it. And the meeting is now officially adjourned. Thank you,
Can I say
Renee.
something? Can I say something
Absolutely.
right before? So I didn't, so Kelly, I didn't know you were the vice president. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
A little late there.
Okay. All right.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Okay,
Um,
bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Wendy,
everyone.
get some-
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy, for coming the day after your shot.
Yeah.
Get some rest.
Oh,
Take care of
man.
yourself.
Well, thank you. I will. Okay, bye.
Bye.